Yeah, her speaker's muted.
That's terrible. I lost my pen here this morning. And I don't see.
What do you need?
I had lost my pen here this morning, and so I don't have a pen. When we were here this morning for the EDC. Thank you. But you don't have, oh, you have 3. So I'll give this back to you.
Please.
Here you go. Thank you.
4.
Okay. Was that me?
How that? You can get a little bit.
Oh, he wanted it bigger?
No, I didn't say it.
No,
he didn't say anything. It just looked a little small. I mean,
that
my
Alan.
eyes are horrible too.
So. It's Alan. Alan's on. Hi, Alan.
How's everybody?
Good.
Good.
Okay, we can get started. We'll let Paul away as the liaison. Facilitate this meeting.
Okay, I think each of you have a package of material. So be aware of the issue we got going, at least at the moment. You have a ask of $192,000 and you have a fund of 175.
That much.
Which is which kind of is you don't want to have extra money left over, so it's kind of a good thing. But it does we're going to have to figure out how to trim back within to fit it in within what we've got there. Go ahead.
I also did notice in some notes from previous meetings that often, and you guys have been on this before, can confirm for me that there was always a goal to leave a little bit in there for reserves. We did not do that in the last round for 2023. So just, I don't know if that's, preferred or what, but if that's the desire.
So I'm going to
have less than one.
I will say this, and I just want to say this year is extremely going to be really hard on our businesses, extremely difficult. And so they're going to need all the help that they can possibly get this year. And I don't know what's happening the following year, but I just know that from what I'm seeing right now, as it's declining each month, I'm really nervous, and I don't know if we need to keep reserves for that reason, just because we need to help them. And we need to make sure that our vitality, economic vitality, is intact. And I feel like if we put anything in reserve, and so all of these are very meaningful that need to happen. There's a couple of them that have a couple questions on, but just that's my 2 cents worth. And I don't know if anybody else has that same feeling.
Sure. Well, I think I know in the nonprofit sector, it's considered next year is going to be a fiscal cliff, because there have been a variety of support and relief grants throughout the pandemic, and those all
Gone.
are coming to a stunning end this year, and there'll be nothing next year. And many organizations have not fully recovered yet. So it is a rather concerning time for a lot of businesses.
Yeah.
It's just that next great idea. You're not going to have any money to help them out. And
That's right.
We've had next great ideas in the past. So, so is it then the recommendation of the board not to do a reserve fund?
I mean, I think we're already going to have some trouble whittling down that 17,000.
I know.
So, I mean, I would say we would have to use all of it. I mean, and I don't know how far in advance we are of then in the future having less funding, just because, you know, so maybe we should kind of make the best of it right now.
Spend it while you got it.
What did you say, Alan?
Spend it while you got it, everybody.
Well, I feel like it because we're this next year, like I said again, we're already seeing what's happening. And Alan, is it slowing down in your side at all?
Yeah, it's been a strange year with group. So, you know, we didn't get the same group we got group base that we normally get in summer, particularly August. Yep. So yeah, it's definitely changed.
And I can definitely attest to that as well, because our August, which is normally pretty slamming, was slower than last year, which was very strange for us.
Yeah. One thing I do want to just reiterate on this is if we do this correctly, the World Cup that's coming in town, so it's a year and a half from here, for a year and 5 months. And so we could potentially make it quite a bit of money during that time. And so that is something that we could look at again, because again, it's a year and a half. So it won't be this year, but it'll be the following year. But there's some possibilities that we can talk about on that eventually. So that is coming, and that we know that's 3 million people up here, and we're trying to get a practice field up here. And we know that it might be a good thing, just saying.
Do we have a date range on that yet?
Yes, it's the 2025, and it's July and August.
July and August.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So that could be good news, or it could be very busy up here, very crowded on a couple of those weekends.
Yeah, but it'll mean heads and beds, because that is the very critical point. I just did I had a conference that I went to, and Beth Knox from the Seattle Sports Commission said that one of the main reasons why they worked so hard on this was within a 30-mile radius, you will not have a empty hotel room for that time period. Will not, absolutely will not. So they already know that. Other economies that would be coming here from other parts of the world, I don't think are doing like we are. So
typically that type of business doesn't come every single year to the Seattle area. That's what the Washington State Convention Center, they would call that a citywide. And then the citywides expand to the east side cities. So like when the American Medical Association came back many years ago, the east side cities were booked out as well. So it's a rare opportunity, but it's a good opportunity.
Yeah.
It's probably a once in a lifetime.
Exactly, Richard. Yeah.
Unless we have the Olympics.
What was that?
It's going to be awesome. Yeah.
We may have the Olympics. They're trying for the Olympics again. So I know. I'm just saying.
A girl can dream.
That's right.
That's right.
All right, so I'm hearing a consensus, no reserve.
No.
Okay. We want to run through these applications, or you want to run through trying to figure out How to go get a square peg in a round hole.
Let's do the applications because there's a couple I have some questions on.
Okay.
on this.
So why don't we start at the top of the list? City of Snoqualmie, winter lights.
Okay, hang on. I rearranged mine. So hold on, please. Okay, so you had two of them though, right?
No, this year I just submitted,
Oh, it's Snoqualmie.
I just submitted Snoqualmie winter lights for a variety of reasons, but I just didn't. I upped it, I think $2,000 or $3,000, but it just didn't go up.
Oh, wait a second. Okay, so I have Snoqualmie went 2.
Because I'm one.
Oh,
I'm a winter light.
okay. Sorry. That's all I was trying to understand. I'm going, what the heck is this? Okay.
Yeah, because you had requested 18 last year, but then we just allocated 16.5. Right. I just wanted to let you know. I just wanted to put that out there. So
Is that using Augie?
Actually, Ellen, I have been using Handy in the Valley for the last few years. Part of the reason I did that was I owned the lights. With Augie, I didn't own the lights, and with what I do now, I own the lights. And then if I were to ever not have the funding to pay an outside installer, and I had to try and find ways to have in-house do it, then it allowed me to have the inventory of the lights.
Understood.
But it's a local Snoqualmie company, so I'm still shopping local.
Cool. I asked because Augie's doing ours, so maybe we get a group discount.
There you go. He does great work. They both do great work.
Yep.
Okay.
Any questions?
Yes. So with the additional funds on this, tell me more. Would you be able to go back down to 16.5 on that?
Yes, I can. The reason why I increased it was every year the cost increase. And I could absorb that in my budget. I believe I will be paying for more of the marketing and summer events out of my budget, but I do believe that my budget will be able to absorb it. The next year budget cycle, and we don't know what the LTAC funding situation will be. It's going to be a different story, but I could absorb that. Yes.
Okay. So thoughts?
are you adding anything like new this year, or is it just, you know?
There were some things that we added new this year, but any of the new elements I am absorbing in my own budget.
Okay.
LTAC. So the LTAC pays for the installation on the snowplow frame, the legacy trees, the main tree, and the gazebo. So and then the
Center Boulevard trees.
Oh, sorry. Thank you for that, Center Boulevard. Also, there was some great expense this year that I have absorbed within my budget is we had to purchase almost an entire, all the inventory. Center Boulevard was 75% new. The gazebo was 100% new.
Oh.
The main tree, we were able to use the same. And then the staff just today was putting out, they're so lovely. We had the little metal trees on the fencing, and this year they added stars and then purchasing all of that inventory. But a significant amount of money went into purchasing the lights. But I think we're at a place, and the team that's doing it, I trust them. I think we're going to do a good job of packaging it away and maintaining it so that we can get more life out of them. So I'm just full of answers. And
well,
sure. Yeah.
Okay, so now, Lori, don't hate me on this, but I'm
Okay,
going to ask some questions.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, on this other one, so that one I totally fine, the 16.5. What I would rather have seen in this was the marketing done on instead of buying displays on this, because it scares me just a tad bit, opening a can of worms to other businesses wanting us to buy displays.
I would ask Lori if you could describe what those displays would be. Because I just want to say, compliment what I do with Snoqualmie and light, but their light does, and put them on the map as the other hotel at the top of the hill, very visible. If that was something really lit up, I think that would be a beautiful sight. So I'm curious if you just explain if that's okay, Kelly.
Yeah, I just need to know.
Yeah,
it's just something that I
no,
don't want to open. I don't want.
No. And I know what you're saying.
Yes.
So when you say you'd rather see it spent on marketing what?
The nights, the actual things that can happen around Snoqualmie, the actual events during Christmas, the lights, the packages to bring people up here, instead of doing a light display
well, and I think part of that too was, I mean, that's pretty much Nicole's thing. She's marketing the winter lights and this and that. And so, I mean, this year we just wanted to become more a part of Center Boulevard, because I know we're right there, but we're on the other side, and we just kind of wanted to bring a little bit more cohesion and do a display. So we're working with John Fraser as well, obviously, because at that point we're purchasing the lights, and like Nicole said, you know, if we don't have the budget to have somebody install, you know, that at least we've got the product. I just feel kind of bad just because we're a large building.
Yeah.
If there was like, you know, any other business that was like looking for funding, their buildings are going to be fairly small, whereas ours is kind of just right there.
But let me ask you, taking this back to city council, what do you see as going to be the like flashing light saying, what the heck?
Oh, wow, why did you say
that? I know that.
I dare stay with the thought bubble in his head might be thinking.
No, but I need to know your viewpoint.
So I see two concerns. One, I see a community event covering multiple business areas, whatever. And I see one fairly isolated. Two, I see one which is at a community level. You know, the businesses can come and go under what's happening downtown, but the lights stay.
Mm-hmm.
This one, I see a business purchasing the lights, and if that business were to swap owners, move, whatever, life happens.
The lights would go as well.
Retire, have mentions, the beach. Those displays may go away.
No, completely understandable.
It's the public-private and the community versus singular. What would be the flags I would potentially see thrown?
Yep. That's what my thoughts were too. Just because I know we got another one in here from the line, and that one is another one. That I'm like, oh shoot. Alan, what do you think?
I'm agnostic on this one.
No, sir.
She's not letting it.
I don't have a whole lot of passion behind this one. I'm just focused on some of the bigger ticket ones and seeing how we could get that 17,000 out in total, but I'm moving ahead. So
is there any consideration of taking some of these funds and putting it on the community center lights one?
Can you do that?
Well, yeah,
where the city would own it?
Resource question underlying that.
Yeah, that's the other thing. Can we just push that into
on the other side?
I would agree on that.
Like for the city budget, the Snoqualmie Winter Lights budget to cover this expense that's Snoqualmie in.
To take the money from the in lights.
Yes.
Wish we titled them differently. Take the money from the in lights, bring those over to the city lights to include some across the parkway lighting to kind of pull in.
I am willing to. Well, first off, if Snoqualmie were to light the building, they would be in the marketing materials, logo present, just like Salish gets, just like Railroad Museum gets. I think there is room. That can happen, yes. And I know legally we can make that happen as well, because I'm also lighting the snow plow, which is not, you know, the city property, and doing it for the benefit of the program. So are you just feeling more comfortable with like a bookkeeping standpoint that it would be part of that? But well, so would the value go up?
I may have a misunderstanding that your lighting includes actually some lighting on the building.
Yeah, so right now the bid that we're getting is all on the top of the building, like all over the top of it. And then the entryway that you can see from Snoqualmie Parkway when you drive by, and the railing on the outside patio area. So it would basically everything visible from the parkway.
You remember the nightmare that we had with the lights for that hotel?
No, building. No, I'm not going to go there.
Okay, I was just like going, oh my gosh, this is why I don't want it to be this going to the. Oh my gosh,
that might actually entice me to support it. But anyway, that's just me. You know?
That's funny.
We're recording. All right, I'm done.
No, but it would be a big, if it could go, the money, we increase your money to figure that out. I would feel better about it. Would you?
This has been something we've grappled with in the past, where we're trying to avoid buying things
for individual
with the lodging tax money, and instead doing things, at least for private entities.
Yeah, I'm not feeling comfortable with it, but if we increased yours and you helped with that or did some other things, I would feel comfortable with. And would you guys feel comfortable? The council?
Well, I have a concern with us putting lights on a private building.
Yeah.
John Fraser, wouldn't it? I mean,
do you want to help with the lodge's lights? I mean,
yeah, I mean, that's a good point. I just is the difference with the train museum that I do it on the stuff
it's you on snowplow,
and they're a nonprofit.
That's the difference. Yeah. Might I suggest you go through the rest of them and see?
Yeah, let's go.
And maybe you get to the end of it and they'll be the funding there. I don't know.
Well, it's not just that, it's the look when we go into city council that I don't know it would even go through.
Yeah, I agree on the private building thing.
Yeah, there's the private building thing. Those that objected strongly to the lights are not part of the council right now. Matter of fact, I got a pretty new council, so we'd have to expose the subject and see what the reaction is.
Okay, let's do next one. Which is the next one? Because mine are all messed up.
Okay, yeah, she took us off order.
You brought it up, Kelly. Why don't you discuss the line by constraints, and then we can do the bigger chunk with the larger, the multiple applications.
So, the line item I have a problem with as well, because this is a private company. And I went back over and looked at the RCW on stuff, and this was this is helping their business. It's not helping. If the city of Snoqualmie wanted to put a kiosk out there that said these are the bike trails and stuff, then I would say absolutely, but not for a private company.
So this is a new endeavor, a new contract agreement the city has with this organization, and there is revenue attached to it that they do pay the city. I will also say about Snoqualmie Point Park, it's and I don't even know the boundary lines, etc., but that area, some of it is the city, some of it is DNR, some of it, you know, it's kind of a mixed bag up there, and we have very specific uses. The uses approved for this endeavor up there. We went through quite a bit, but the city trying to approve that. I'm just giving you history, not trying to sway either way.
So
do you know how much the city is being paid for the franchise?
Richard, I would need to look at that, but if I off the top of my head, I believe it's like 5,000, maybe the first year, 7,500. It escalates. that sound familiar? Councilmember Holloway, I don't know that contract off the top of your head, but yeah, I believe it's something along those lines. Picture. Let me stop sharing my screen and I can see if I can pull up the contract on my computer.
What do you?
I wish there was a little more information. I just finding it a little hard to really evaluate how the money is going to be spent and who the audience really is, because the focusing on the 1.25 million cruise ship passengers, I can personally vouch for how hard it is to actually land them up here, because the cruise ship companies jealously guard those lists, and you don't have access to them unless you pay a very significant portion of your fee to partner with them. So who is it that they're actually trying to get here? Do they have a more specific target? How this money would be used in marketing that opportunity?
Yeah, I mean, I'd be interested in the tours aspect, just because, like,
oh yeah,
you know what I mean? Who's running that? How is it? You know, obviously, if they're gonna be here for 3 days, they're gonna need lodging. So I would be interested in the tour portion.
My memory is certainly correct. Year one, $5,000, year two, $7,500, and year three, if renewed, $10,000.
But year one is marketing. $500 for website, $1,000 for flyers, and print ads, $3,500.
And that's a company.
Yeah, so this is not an event.
No. Do we have the RCW on what we can spend money on? Do you have that?
Hey, you're really watching.
Well, because I think there is something there. I just want to triple check on that, because I don't want anything kind of
planner. Meaning I don't go to code fair.
You're more than that.
Different textbook.
How long do the cruise ships stay in port?
So they go from October through, hang on, April through October.
Yeah, the other way.
No, but like once they're in port, like
so depends on which
typically
company it
what
is.
kind of, yeah.
And so what usually is, there's 7 hours in between when they leave and when they actually leave the airport. So from all of the information I've heard, it's if they're staying longer, then it's longer. But that once they get off that, and it also depends on when you can stay on that cruise ship for as long as you want to a certain point.
Okay.
And so it depends on when they leave that cruise ship. And there's a bunch to it.
Yeah.
The trick seems to be how we, especially this far out from Seattle, how we can really make an appeal for them to come up here. The Holland America was the first one to try the pre-cruise trips, and we tried to partner with them early on when they were first doing their cruises here, and we had a lot of difficulty getting subscribers to come out here before the cruise. And on top of that, when they do the marketing, when they're essentially granting access to their audience, you're basically getting half what they're charging.
Well, and that's why I was wondering if the time span is so short that they would just kind of hang around Seattle.
Yeah, because they originate the cruise here.
Yeah.
So, and then when they return, there's potentially a window at the end of that trip before they go to the airport. But I guess that's it'd be great if we could get people to stay in the area for a few extra days. But problem is that a lot of people have already made their travel decisions long before they've traveled here.
Yeah, because I feel like if they were going to do that, they'd be like, okay, we're going to come back this day and we'll stay a couple extra days and go around.
The money that needs to go into keeping people here is going into that very front part of the travel agent and having them know what's happening to get them to stay longer when they buy their tickets. Do you find it?
I'm on that RSC website. So let me share my screen. Okay.
Alan, you were being quiet.
The revenue on the screen.
Okay.
I'm just reading through what they're describing, and it's hard for me to understand what they're looking for.
But not for capital expenditures.
Well, I think on page 2, number 2, they line out in November, December this year, work report of Seattle Cruise Line excursion packages, December through January, signed contracts for excursion and camps. February, March, create advertising campaign and buy media. And run campaign activity all through September, October, measure results, and da-da. But the only thing they're really asking us for is, again, money for their website, brochures, flyers, print media, ads.
Oh, I thought it was a kiosk that they were asking for.
No.
That
That's back here.
Kiosk, I think we would need to have a conversation with our parks department to see if that would be an allowable use up there based on the different entities that own that land.
So this is mainly just advertising dollars to support the rest of their campaign to try. I assume it's not only just the port, but also to try to get any regional interest also. But they pretty well let.
Well, yeah, because if they're looking at 2 to 3 day camps, then definitely they're not going to be, people that are probably around.
I would rather, I would do this for them if I knew that this is what they were wanting to do. Seriously, because this is something that I've been working on already. It's not this to me. Because I'm confused with the event name and the activity and then what they're asking for.
Same. That's why I was reading through it, and it's tough to understand.
Yeah, I'm not understanding.
It says by kiosk.
Yes.
Well, yeah, and it also says that the North Bend location has gravel and e-bike rentals for the Snoqualmie Valley Trail.
What the heck?
This doesn't make sense.
Right, I'm not sure that word kiosk shows anywhere else. In the
I was trying.
Title.
And then they want us to do day camps with nationally known.
Yeah, I personally don't see a huge upside to this for promoting tourism.
I can help with this. Very much so, because I feel like this
The outdoor guide.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we're also working on a bike map, and we could do a lot of other things with that to help them promote this. But I don't feel like this feels like more North Bend as well. It doesn't feel like it's just all Snoqualmie.
Yeah, Compass Outdoor Adventures has a much larger footprint and presence, and can, to me, bring way more groups here, versus that's just my humble opinion, because they do a ton for this community in terms of getting people out in it and spending money and promoting the local community. I'm just trying to compare that to this, and I don't see the as big of an upside in just comparison.
Yeah, I don't really understand how the money's going to be spent. It's one thing to list out.
You could
And so
an incomplete application if it's not telling you the story. So for the sake of maybe progressing and moving on, I will put 0 on the spreadsheet and then allow you guys.
Yep.
I think you delved into it for a significant amount of time and you're not coming in clarity.
Yeah.
Says the non-facilitator in the room.
But I want to help with that, with the bikes. That's not it at all. It's just that this does not feel like.
And include that in there, tie in with Chamber of Commerce.
I could definitely help with that.
For
Okay, what else are we doing?
support and probably helping them get more aligned.
Yeah.
But that okay.
We can go do the International Block Party if that's cool. I'll help you. We'll go with that one real quick.
Sure.
Okay. So what I learned this year on this was that it costs a lot of money. People don't come and volunteer time to do all these.
Really?
I had no clue. I had no clue. Oh my gosh. I assumed that it was because people would come and volunteer. I was very naive. So, but having said that, I am willing, I would love if it was 8,000, we could go to 8. I would be happy with that, to take $2,000 down off on that. It's very important. The event brought in a tremendous amount of people. And I had so many amazing things that were said by it. It was celebrating our diversity, and we don't have anything else like that. So I would be happy to do that.
Okay, so you're volunteering to go from 10 to 8.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Well done. So what's our savings so far? If we just leave it as is, we're at 9,500 plus 5,000.
$8,800 short.
I thought we were
8,000. How much?
$8,500 short. My bad handwriting.
Okay. All right.
If we can do this.
Well, do we? I mean, I hate to jump ahead or back. I mean, are we really going to do the winter lights for a private enterprise?
I mean, it doesn't sound like it.
We can't.
We said
Yeah.
we'd come back and circle back at the end, I guess.
I think we can't.
I'm just trying to score some base runs here, guys.
Yeah, I don't think we need to circle back.
Okay.
Yeah.
Meaning you're okay with taking that off?
Yeah.
So now we're at
Who is that?
5.
It was 5.
We're at
You're at 12,000. That's not past math for me. 18 to 16,500.
yeah. Still got $3,500 to go.
I'm
Okay.
not in finance.
We got this.
Too fast math.
Okay. I want to do one other one, the Twin Peaks exhibit, and also the open year-round Snoqualmie Valley Museum. Twin Peaks is very exciting, but I have to say I'm working with North Bend, and I feel like that needs to be here in Snoqualmie, the Twin Peaks exhibit. And there are places like, and I told Christy this too, there were places that were in like the Dirtfish that would be willing to put that exhibit at. Mm-hmm. Instead of having them go to North Bend and do that. I'm having,
Here.
yes, we could do it here too. Yes. Yes.
Well, there's a festival in February.
Yep.
As well. If they can get this together quickly enough, the last weekend in February.
Mm-hmm.
But I agree, it's a big thing, and it should be a Snoqualmie connection.
Absolutely.
I mean, I'm a little on the fence on this just because it's in North Bend, and we obviously had that event in North Bend, and I mean, really tweeds alone is really the big draw. So there were a lot of people that I saw in downtown North Bend that were staying at the hotel that were there just to do that. And I mean, obviously it is Snoqualmie and North Bend, and I get that the museum is in North Bend, but at the same time it is the Snoqualmie Valley Historical Museum. So I mean, I think there will be people there in North Bend, and I think that if they're asking for the money and it's marketed correctly, I mean, it could be a good thing, and it could bring some exposure to the museum as well.
Well, so our concern for the city of Snoqualmie is that the money, if it's this event is happening, there's going to be a lot of people that just go to North Bend for this. And I honestly feel like it has to be in Snoqualmie with our tax dollars. And I know just because there'll be people that'll go there that are not going to do any money towards Snoqualmie. I just feel really bad. Like even up at Salish, we could have a Twin Peaks something because they were also in the movie. But I don't feel like North Bend has their foundation now. They have the money to be able to market their own stuff now. And we've carried that for years and years and years. And so I feel like this one thing at Twin Peaks should be in the city of Snoqualmie.
So is the real Twin Peaks Days, the festival, is nothing happening in North Bend for the festival?
No, there is. They're both cities.
Well,
I know it can be a little bit controversial to say
yeah.
this in so many words, but I think sometimes we get a little too siloed when we're trying to draw a line between the two cities, when in fact a lot of these events, when they're put together properly, actually bring benefit to both communities. And in a way, it would, I wish there was a way that we could do a better job of coordinating between the different groups that are funding this, because sometimes we end up inadvertently working at cross purposes. We intend to be part of this. We're going to run a train on the Sunday. It'll be something that I'm not going to reveal yet, but it'll be special for that festival. We will be intending to bring people at least partially into Snoqualmie. I can't possibly say how that directly benefits yet, because we don't have the details worked out. But I do think that this could be something that would grow even more in the future with the right support, and an exhibit like this could have a continuing life for future events.
But majority of the events are going to be in North Bend because there's places to hold the events and there's not here. So that's the only other thing that I just was like, I told Christy, please go to Dirtfish and put it there, or do it somewhere here where we're bringing people here as well.
I don't recall, did she indicate in here what the footprint is going to be?
Can that be something that we ask?
Richard, is she on your screen now?
I could probably find her.
Would you ask her if she would do it if there's a way that we can do it in Snoqualmie? And the city, we could also do it in here as well.
I'm thinking in here in the lobby, it can be
in the old library. Just kidding. Okay. I'm just kidding. Just kidding.
That's like the crazy aunt that we don't want to bring out of the closet. Richard, I got a smile out of you on that one.
Hello, how big a footprint?
Yeah, but I'm looking at. I see no indication there. We're going to ask City of North Bend. No indication of how much. And yeah, my impression is this has mostly been a North Bend thing.
Okay, but a 20 by 20 exhibit would fit in the foyer of the train shed. It would fit in the city hall chamber.
There's some marvelous hotels over there.
Correct. It's marvelous hotels, but I do not believe that they have an LTAC commission. I could be wrong.
They do not.
No.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, in the future, I think they will with the hotel they're building, but currently I do not believe they have an LTAC fund.
No.
Oh yeah, they have an LTAC fund, but it's a small amount, so they don't have to have the commission. They just
do what they want to
do what they want. Approximately 400 square feet, so it would fit in here, and it would fit in the foyer of the train shed. And
I love that.
It would fit in the old library.
I love it being in the train. Yeah. I love that.
Not in the old library. No.
Okay, so I vote yes on this if it's in Snoqualmie.
I think it'll be in both, is the idea. That it would move.
Yeah, but during the
I did like the train element.
I love that.
To get people there, or
yeah,
we're gonna have a lot of room down here at the depot, but
Well, it could be in the depot too. That's a possibility.
Oh, love that.
Yeah, we don't have quite 400 square feet in the freight room there, and it's an unheated area, but it is secure, and we could do that for a short period of time like that. We're thinking more like the some a more premium experience for the Sunday rather than just a train ride. So that could work out really well.
Okay, so
and
this one would be accepted, but the exhibit would need to have a physical location in Snoqualmie, whether it's Dirtfish, Snoqualmie City Hall,
rail train,
locations of the train.
I'm okay whether it's in Snoqualmie or North Bend.
Well, wait a minute. So they're asking for $6,000.
Towards overall cost of almost $10,000.
15,000, 16,000.
Sorry, 15,000.
So, I mean, if they get half funded from North Bend, are we still going to request that this be in Snoqualmie?
They're not geting.
They're not requesting funding from North Bend.
That's why I say they had to be in North Bend. I mean Snoqualmie.
They applied in October, City of North Bend. They didn't say a dollar figure.
Call her back and see if she got any money from North Bend. I don't think she did. I was in those meetings and didn't think that she did.
Yeah, you're kind of stealing somebody's event. I don't mind doing it, but I don't want to do it with their money.
Is North Bend funding it? Okay. And you'll know about, and when would you have the exhibit finished? Okay. Okay, and what's the useful life of the exhibit? Up to 5 years. That's a great answer. I like that.
Better than skating.
Okay. Thank you. But
no reaction.
No funding from the city of North Bend.
Okay.
And a useful life of up to 5 years. But unfortunately, because we're already in November, they can't absolutely guarantee this would be ready for the festival.
I knew that.
In February. But it would be, they would actually try really hard to.
Okay.
Because it's an ongoing interest.
Yeah, and they said here there's also the asking for the tribe, and I'm almost 100% certain that they are not funding that.
Yeah.
So is this Twin Peaks exhibit something that stays up permanently?
Well, it's a portable exhibit. You can take it down and move it. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So it would even fit in the foyer of the Snoqualmie Inn.
You've got some room there.
That would be really cool, actually.
Okay, so they could. Okay, so it's a portable thing. Yeah. Okay.
Well, portable being relative.
It's not something that's just going to stay in one place like 365 days a year.
You'll turn with luggable. It's luggable.
No, I think it's a great example of something that would be more valuable if it that type of exhibit is often more valuable if it's like up for 6 weeks and then disappears.
Yeah.
Because then people have the urgency of let's go see that because it's not going to be up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know I'm here mainly as an applicant and not a voting member, but I would have concerns about putting money towards something that's not ready for the Twin Peaks weekend, because I think that's when it's going to get its most value and bang for its buck. But I like that it's a pop-up. I think that.
Well, yeah, that's the other thing. I mean,
it's for 5 years, so it'll be next year if we.
But this funding has to be used in 2020.
Oh, that's right.
And so I think the most bang for the buck for this would be.
Can you call her back and say she has to have it ready for the Twin Peaks Festival?
Well, either that or we hold the funding till later in the year, whatever the lead time is to get it ready for the next year.
Tell her sorry.
That's the other thing I was gonna say. We could fund it pending if it was available ready for the Twin Peaks.
How would you feel if it was stipulated that you had to come up with an exhibit by the last weekend in February? Is it something that you could do, even if there was still more work you were going to do on it? Okay, and the other alternative, it might be stipulated that you wouldn't have access to the funding until like October, and it would be for next year's festival. Okay, so you're neutral on either option.
There's no way for February.
I understand. I feel your pain. Okay, thank you. Okay, bye. Yeah, she's happy with either option.
I just
But
don't
she
feel that we're in a position to commit for funds for 2025. It's
No.
another 2-year budget
Yeah.
cycle, and there's other tax issues going on. So I feel like to be able to say yes to $6,000 would be for 2024. I can't live in the future, says the non-voting member.
Alan, what are your thoughts?
Because
again, I don't have a we get enough peakers here as it is, so I don't have a ton of, you know, behind this one and where it takes place, but they come through here and they stop at the various places. So
think of how many more would come if it was in your foyer.
Yeah, you want it, Alan?
that is never happening. No.
Hard fast.
Hard no.
Hard no.
But Lori will take it.
I'll take it.
But in general, though, you're in support of this.
I'm in support of it because I think that it represents a diversification of what we're doing. It's something new and different, and it's potentially going to grow because this little upstart festival that they started that with almost no marketing whatsoever, Shazam had hundreds of attendees who spent real money.
8,000.
Sorry, 8,000 attendees who spent real money in the valley in both Snoqualmie and North Bend. And I'm not I wouldn't consider myself a big Twin Peaks fan, but I'm a big tourism success fan, and I definitely noticed that there were people here, and as I recall, it wasn't even a particularly nice weekend.
No.
I don't consider myself a Twin Peaks fan as well, but I've had to eat crow. The Twin Peaks page, Kelly knows this, the Twin Peaks page on the city website is they're consistently for years the third most popular page on the city website.
Yeah. And you realize that Laura Palmer was murdered at our railroad.
Yes.
Yeah.
What did Christy think? Could she pull the exhibit together by February?
She can pull an exhibit together by February.
Okay, let's do it. By February.
Oh.
He's like, are you sure?
I'm just really concerned. It's mid-November.
Yeah.
They've already been working on it probably because they have people have already donated things to them. So it's just putting it together.
What about the funding is approved pending an actual exhibit, a substantial exhibit? Is that more comfortable for you, or?
Well, they would have to complete it before they could get the funding because it's a reimbursement grant. Yeah. And so if they didn't perform for some reason, then the money would be back in the fund and we'd have an opportunity to put the money out to another project.
Yep, I'm fine with that.
Absolutely. Are you cool with that?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm updating the spreadsheet. Everyone good?
So what was we didn't reduce that. We kept that at its asking value.
Yes.
At this stage.
At this stage. Okay. Now,
do you want to just go ahead and do all things Snoqualmie Valley Historical?
Sure.
Well, this one is the weekends. Oh, where is that?
I applaud her initiative in applying for this, and I think that in the ideal world, we would wholeheartedly embrace it. The challenge is that this museum is located entirely in the city of North Bend. And and it's difficult to make a precise connection with visitation there and the responsibility we have to ensure that we're best investing the money and that's collected here in Snoqualmie.
Alan, thoughts?
I agree.
The other thing is Imagine Washington is putting together a package, and I don't know if it went through. I think it's going through in the next couple of weeks, where The city cannot apply for it. I cannot apply for it. Nobody else can apply for it except for 501c3s. They can apply for this through that Imagine Washington Arts and get this funded. This is exactly what this is for.
But that'll be in 2025. But yes.
It's exactly
Yeah.
what it's for.
Doors open King County. Or
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Doors open King County.
That was the presentation that we read.
Yep.
The training.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's exactly it. It would fund this.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So,
Yep.
So wait a minute.
Do you want to fund it?
Well, no, I guess I want to twist it. Sorry, being a politician. We do get, I would assume, some splash over from that.
Of course.
What I'm thinking is, I would reduce this number significantly, but would say we would match North Bend.
Ooh,
80-20,
love that.
10 to do this, because they're going to get 90% of the benefit, 80% of the benefit, and we only get a portion of it. In no way should I think we should foot full bill.
Entire.
I agree.
You know, the advantage of doing that is that then we've taken the first step in trying to break down some of the siloing,
Yes.
which is damaging our.
Politics.
Yeah.
So why don't we?
I love it.
Why don't we take this down to like 1,000 and say contingent upon
North Bend.
85% match North Bend?
Yeah.
Okay, they already have funded. I don't know at what level though. I can find out.
Yeah. Call the.
Should have just left it on speakerphone, right?
And I think with council it'd be much a better sell to say, yes,
Fully
we realize we only get partial benefit from this, but we are only partially funding.
Mm-hmm.
North Bend funds 85%, we fund 15%.
That's fair.
Also,
How much is your grant from North Bend?
About possibly doing some traveling exhibits here. I mean, there's ways that we can engage them.
And they haven't indicated how much of that they're going to fund yet. Okay. All right. That's the information we have. That's the best we can do. Okay. Thank you. Bye.
How much?
They've requested 25,000. The city hasn't made a final decision, but last year they funded 15. So 15% of 15 would be $2,250. Right?
I don't know. I can't do that. But you did really well. I can't do that. I'd have to pull my calculator out. So why don't we take this down to $500 because we can actually help her case.
Yes. Okay. Okay. Thank you. Okay. Thank you. Okay. Right. Oh, she felt it was important to add that they get the building for free from the city of North Bend, and they're doing renovations for free as well. So the grant is actually a lot more. It's just not in cash. But yeah, okay. I think any amount is would be symbolic. But in terms of the effort that it takes to do
the case for her that dear North Bend, if you give me money, it gets matched by Snoqualmie to a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I respectfully offer up that we should not give grants of less than $1,000 because of the effort that it takes to invoice and process the check.
Would be the best thing because it'd be 10% of that. So 1,200.
1,200.
Yeah.
For the JLAR reporting.
Yeah, because there's a lot of administration that goes into.
Yeah.
But if North Bend doesn't contribute to a level where our percentage would go to 1,000, you wouldn't allocate the money.
I think it would be a great gesture.
I do too.
I think that we should go with $1,000 regardless.
1,200.
Or whatever. Yeah.
1,200. Let's do it.
Split the difference.
Come on, Alan. What do you say?
1,200. Let's do it.
1,200.
Okay.
And there's nothing to prevent us from putting a narrative along with it, right? That we feel that about 15% of the business is also coming through to Snoqualmie, and so we're estimating 15%.
Yeah. One of the things that has happened in the past several years is that Snoqualmie has paid more of their fair share for all of this and in past as well. Mm-hmm. So I'm happy to hear that North Bend is finally stepping up on that. That's a great thing. And I think it will continue when we get this other funding source through King County.
Yeah.
And they will have their ability to get quite a bit more.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that gets you, you're actually $1,300 to the good.
Okay.
Oh, it was 1,300 now?
Oh, well, you've actually got 1,300 extra with
Oh.
that move.
So can we do the mobile concierge thing? Okay. You can see the mobile concierge. You can go online and go onto your app and download it if nobody's downloaded it yet. This will be our 3rd year that we are doing this, and it is it keeps going up. We just started all of our campaigning as well. It's something we changed the name to mobile concierge instead of just an app, and it is amazing how many people have downloaded it just this past week that we've included that information. I think it's up to 500 right now. So the more people we get in this thing, the more we can help every single person in the entire Snoqualmie for their events, for everything. We can start doing a lot more.
You receive funding from any of your other cities that you represent?
I got $2,700 from North Bend.
From what fund do they pay that with?
Their city funds. Or whatever, how much, 2,000 something like that.
2,500.
Yep, 2,500.
Worksheet.
Yep.
Oh, sorry, that was in your.
Yeah. And instead of having a actual info center, this is what we have come up with to be able to help. And eventually, I would love to have a actual truck like Bellevue has, where they take the truck with all of these big monitors and everything, where they show it like the Boeing Classic and different things like that. So with this money, we'll go towards the new sandwich boards as well that will go into some of the bigger events.
Okay. I think it's great. I think it should be supported. I think my request would be a more specific little card or something that we can thrust upon all of our frontline staff to make it easy for them to do this, since we're mostly relying on personal devices.
Yep. Okay.
Or like a table tent or something at your
to give
your counter or something.
So I have
that.
table tents.
I have one in my hotel.
Yeah.
So you just scan the QR code.
I had out there for a table tent. It was a little bit more expensive, and I decided this year we didn't have much money, so I did not include that on there. But I would like to put table tents on every single table that for all of our restaurants as well when people sit down. But that hasn't. I didn't think we would have money, so I didn't include that in there.
It'd be a good Twin Peaks weekend table tent combination, Twin Peaks activities, and then the barcode.
No, they do need to download the app to use this correctly.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm hearing general support at the level request.
Yes.
Fill that in.
Let's do it.
Chamber
Kelly.
Co-op.
Yep, we can do that one. Let me find it. Yep. Okay, this is a new thing. We are about to announce that we are going to be the DMO, Destination Marketing Organization, for the entire Valley. And we have been getting involved with a lot of the stuff with the state, Washington Tourism, and they have created this new opportunity to buy in co-ops to all of their marketing. This one in particular was Expedia. There are other ones as well. But this one was the Expedia one. There are other options. It has you can see the different co-ops levels and what you get with it. This is actually going out of state marketing instead of in-state marketing. And this is something we've never done before, and it's something they just started. Alan, what are your thoughts on that?
I am good with it. I probably won't do table tents. Sorry, but I'm good with it.
I would never even ask you to do table tents. And you're closing down anyway for the remodel.
The attic will still be open and our lobby lounge will still be open. Stop with the closing. Stop it.
Is Alan, so the attic is not going away then?
Nope. Mm-mm.
Not for a while.
Wait,
you can enjoy it while it lasts, but I am destroying it next fall.
Forever. You're destroying it?
Why?
Because I'm giving you an amazing bar with 40 outdoor seats overlooking the falls. Will that do?
Yes.
Okay, I thought so.
Well,
So
but
stop with the closing, everybody.
it'll be like a food and beverage. It won't be guest rooms, I guess is my point, right?
Oh, no, the attic is going to become guest rooms. Yes, I'm going to actually make money up there for a change.
Okay.
And
I guess my few happy hours isn't enough to keep it running.
and I did call you every time. I know, right? And yes,
No.
thank you for correcting me on the closure thing, because that was all the phone calls. You would not believe the phone calls I got on that.
So
We're
when's
not closing.
They're not closing. Huh.
And the lobby lounge will be open Thanksgiving Day, everybody.
Ah,
Lounge, are you saying in the lobby, like around the corner from the gift shop, that's going to become a new lobby lounge?
The gift shop has been moved right to a former meeting room off the lobby, and where the country store was located is the lobby lounge.
I was there right after it closed. Okay, I need to come over for a tour.
we all need to come for a tour.
Come late December. We need to get our legs under us a little bit, but the lobby lounge is looking really, really cool.
Is that its name, lobby lounge?
Yes.
That's really cute. I like that. That's clever. All right, we digress.
So why?
I mean, if you want to give me 10 grand to help make it even better, I'm fine with that.
I haven't seen an application here. I'm sorry you missed the deadline.
Why the $10,000 loan?
Well, because I didn't think we had enough money. And so there is another co-op too that if I had known, there's so many opportunities for us right now. And I didn't know, there's another co-op that has a lot to offer as well. Again, it's just the co-op part. And again, we've not done this before. And this is something that's out of state, not in state. So it means a lot more. There's 3 to choose from.
Mm-hmm.
The Expedia one was the one that I thought would be good to put our feet in to see how it goes. But I know there's a couple other ones that would be ideal. And I was hoping that maybe we could find some money through the city to do more of that anyway.
So okay, so for those conversations to come,
yes,
I'm really looking for how are you measuring success on this?
Yes.
Okay, so what are the click-through rates?
Mm-hmm.
How are we measuring response?
Yes.
That we actually get as a result of because most of the time those ads on websites, there's noise in the background and
so
people are getting numb now.
So this is the state, Washington Tourism, doing it. And they had to answer to the legislature on this as well. Mm-hmm. And so the 3 that they offered to us were really well looked at and made sure that it carried through. And so this one was the one that I thought would be good for us just to put our feet in. The other one has a much bigger bang for the buck. It has $180,000 worth of assets that they give us, but it's a $20,000 fee.
Yeah, that'd be hard. So
that's why I chose this one.
All right.
So I think there's a lot to be offered on. We've not done a lot of the state marketing, and this will be our first adventure to it, and we will be able to tell by heads and beds, whatever it's called. Heads and beds. To be able to see, and they guarantee that this has worked. They've already tried it. It's been a success for them. And so it's an opportunity.
Okay. So is there 10,000
Has to be 10,000 total.
Okay. So it's 10 or none.
Yep.
Are you guys all in support of 10?
I'm okay with 10 if it's gonna
I
get. Yeah.
think trying something like this is exactly what the fund was intended for, to find things that work.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then the
Yep.
next one. I can't read that. Oh, marketing. So call me marketing.
Yep. Okay. So this is what we've been doing, and we've had a huge success in this, almost to the point where we had to look back. We're going to do things a little bit different this year, because our success was having a huge amount of people at 4th of July and nothing was open. So we,
Ow.
yeah, it hurt big time. It was a lot of stuff that went into us doing that. But our Christmas this year we'll be able to see, because we're also we've got a lot of marketing that is going into radio. We've got TV ads, radio, and a bunch of other things that last year's money went into. And so just so far, I think it's up to 398,000 impressions on it. So that's just without doing this last part of it. So this, to me, we are the marketing for the entire city of Snoqualmie. And we have some great assets, the videos and stuff that came through on this. I don't know if we can show that one or not, but you can look it on your app. It's on there too. But take a look at it and see. Again, it's the entire, it's doing for every single business for us.
Any questions, concerns from other members? Any
Alan?
objections
No, I
to
don't
it
think so.
going
I'm good.
in value?
Again, this is the meat and potatoes of what the funding is intended to support.
Hearing no objections, put it in as stated. Back to the top of the list. Train museum marketing.
Train museum marketing. The Railway Museum is a destination. The vast majority of visitors to the Railway Museum made a decision to come here before they came to the Valley. And this is gold. And this is the type of tourism we're trying to get, is to get people to come here, not to try and get them to buy a soda because they happen to be visiting Snoqualmie Falls, which is nice, but yes, it's nice, but it doesn't have, but it doesn't have the value of somebody that made this a destination, because when they come up here to do an activity for 2 or 3 hours, if they came from further afield, they'll stay in a hotel locally, and they'll certainly be buying meals and snacks and other such things. So we typically hold people for more than 2 hours, which is a magic number for them visiting a restaurant or other local vendor. And so this is the effort to get those people here and make it a destination. In 3 weeks ago, the Puget Sound Business Journal listed the Northwest Railway Museum as the 7th most attended museum in the region by attendance.
Really?
People love trains.
Wow.
Yeah. A very diverse audience too, by age, ethnicity, economic background. It's just a very, very diverse audience.
Santa train ticket sale going.
Completely sold out.
Love it.
Completely sold out. We're a little bit hampered this year with slightly reduced capacity on one of our coaches out of service, but completely sold out on the 1st of November. And so we added another Friday train. So we're adding operating some trains on Friday again for the first time since before the pandemic. So
will you put the concierge QR code on the train?
Yes.
Well, you know, it's funny. I was just thinking about this, and we're talking about 2 different things. Yes, we could put the concierge code on the train, but I'm thinking that this app belongs on the phones of all of our volunteers and frontline people.
Oh, yeah.
So that when somebody comes up and says, where do I get something to eat? They go, well, I'm glad you asked. As a matter of fact, I can tell you that you want to go over to the.
Better yet, tell them, here, I'll give you an app. Catch them for the long term.
Sticker, but maybe something on every seat. So when you're sitting there,
Or just on the wall as they come in and go out, and they can scan it and be off and running. But I do like, having your staff broadening their knowledge by having the app of, go over here. You know, if you're looking for vegetarian kosher, go here.
Yes. And it has all of our, the newer ones too, and also the little small ones, the happy teriyaki and stuff like that. So the pizzas.
Cool.
Part of that budget has been enhancing the website. This year, a completely new website was launched with the marketing support. That was in the report we sent out with the application, and so there'll be continuing enhancement. That's to make the website reveal how many exciting opportunities there are here. Attended a great seminar and at a conference earlier this year where they were really emphasizing again that that's really the meat and potatoes of marketing now, is you have to have that solid website to back up everything you're doing. So there's a central clearinghouse to have send people to get whatever information they need to come and visit.
Right. It used to be you'd go by the title and say, okay, let's go do that. But now, no, you want to see what it is before you get there.
Yeah. And in our case now, with support of the city of Snoqualmie, everything is seamless, and you get your ticket on that website visit and the directions on how to get here. And so you're all set. And you're committed, no refunds.
That's key.
All right. Any objections to it going in as stated?
No.
Nope.
There you go. Now, next one. I know it says Snoqualmie. What's that last word?
Days.
It's your favorite, Brian, right?
So have you been able to get more sponsorships to be able to make this more feasible for you?
There were some good sponsorships this year. Yes.
You made money off it this year finally, right?
I don't know that we made money, but I think that it was a break even this year, which is a good start. There haven't been a lot of years where we've.
That's why I was questioning.
Yeah. And I think we're still in for another year or so of rockiness. We've got the work in the park going on, and that cost us one of our events this year with the timber sports people got really put out and quit at the last minute. They pulled out at the last minute and went to another competition, and that was because we moved the location twice. From the park to the top and then back to the park again. So I'm hopeful that maybe there's a slim chance we'll have the park back. I don't know.
No.
So it's going to be a rough year.
I would like to see the outdoor liquor sales to go back to you guys and not to somebody that is not local.
Yeah.
That was the one thing that really bummed me out on that, was that it wasn't local nonprofit.
We had some challenges there.
Yeah, we actually are not doing it this year because it is not feasible for at the block party. But I would like to. I could see that we could change it up if it was up here instead of down in Sandy Creek to be better.
Yeah.
And I would love to see more of a component as we're doing the international down there as well, just to see if there's some way that we can push it a little bit further than we've done in the past.
I think that would be great.
Mm-hmm.
We struggle with the many different expectations that the downtown business community has at times. And
For sure.
We can't do it all.
Nobody can.
And a lot of times their ideas without, they're like unfunded mandates, their ideas without anybody willing to carry them through.
Well, one of the things that I've learned as well, I was very naive on some of this stuff, is that we're going to have to pay more people than have volunteers. Our volunteer base is not here.
This is a national change that is being highlighted at all the nonprofit conferences this year, is that we've seen a complete shift in volunteerism across America. And there's much more of a what's in it for me.
Yep.
And when people do volunteer, they're looking for, I guess to borrow a term from Netflix, they want to binge volunteer.
Yeah. They
want to do a project for a few weeks and then be done with it and move on.
Yep.
And this has affected our operation tremendously.
That's why I was just curious if this is like, you didn't ask very much for on that, so I was just curious.
Well, it was a recognition of the funding challenges for the city of Snoqualmie as well. And also that this is going to be a difficult year. So I think this will be a placeholder year, to be honest, going into this, and then be a much bigger event in 2025 because of the impact of the construction in downtown.
Richard, I just would like to tell you, I appreciate that you the permit holder essentially, and we stay at this event, and appreciate that. And that we have recently gotten a lot of support, but I also know that sometimes rainbowing that support. And I just want you to know that
thank you.
The city, I'm not happy to take this event on, so I very much appreciate it. I just, as a community member and someone else that does events, I do have concerns, and I've done this in my career about having beer gardens. I'm not always sure that they're necessary. I've expressed that with Kelly with the International Block Party. I just don't think it's necessary. So I just that I know can be a bone of contention, and I can appreciate where we're at, and it's really important to keep it local. It's also very important to follow the rules. Liquor Control Board are serious people, and
very serious
people.
Yeah, I know.
And I think that there's some improvements, but if I can be of any support to it.
We would
I want to get to the ring and dig it out, but I'm here.
We would I would welcome the opportunity to have that discussion, but not in a public forum.
I understand.
And we recognize some of the challenges that first appeared last year and reared their head again this year. And we definitely need to address that. We hold ourselves to we all fall short every once in a while, right? But we hold ourselves to very high ethical standards when working with funding, whether it's public or private. And there needs to be 100% transparency with all funding and with following all applicable regulations. I don't, example, there can never be free liquor. No one ever gets any free wine or beer. It's not permitted in Washington State. And there are a lot of people that either don't know that or don't agree with it, or a combination of the two, and it's a constant problem for us.
I can attest, and I've done events for government. I've done some private events, but I've always mainly done government events, and that is not that's not okay. And I'm happy to make that statement. Again, we can take this offline, but we can take this offline. But I just wanted to thank you for this.
Thank you for saying that.
Yeah.
We would like this to be a bigger event, involving more of the community and involving more of a footprint. And that's going to take a commitment, though, from a lot of others in the community. I know the chamber has a lot on their plate right now, but we would welcome the opportunity to co-host at the same time doing an event in North Bend, so that was the entire valley, the Upper Valley anyways. And that's something we hope there'll be an opportunity with some of the changes that have been North Bend, but it's probably not going to happen in a placeholder year. of 24, but perhaps in 25.
And I think just measuring expectations as we move forward in 24, 25, and perhaps 26 with different development projects downtown, the footprint is going to have to change. People are going to have to be nimble, and we're going to have to look at things differently. And I will, you know, do what I can to assist with that, but just managing expectations that things are going to be torn up. And there's going to be some things going on, and hopefully lots that are vacant will not remain vacant. So, yeah.
We understand the challenges you all have in that respect, and the concerns about the economy make it even more complicated.
Yeah. And please watch for the next following year. Just, I'm going to say it again, World Cup.
Yes. We need those dates, and we need to try and make a appropriate, even if they're 1 year only, changes in the schedule of some of these activities. But it's very difficult to do at the last minute, and we've had to make changes in dates at the last minute a few times, and it's devastating.
Our January luncheon, we're hoping to have Beth Knox come and speak on this particular, what the World Cup means and what's going to be happening to all of this. And the dates will be there. She's been on vacation till today. She's back from, so I will let you know more on that. But I feel like we're in a good spot, hopefully, to make a big deal out of that.
I hope so. Is it going to just be here, or is it going to be in Vancouver as well?
So there are actually 26 cities that it's going to be in.
20. Okay.
Yeah. So
so North America wide, or just United States?
It is nope, it's not just North America wide. No, it is North America wide. It is. Yes. Yeah.
All right. So are we good with putting full funding? Okay. All right. Yeah, Richard, you got lots more money.
Train shed.
Appreciate it. This is a huge success story for us. Things have been going really well. Background on this is that this started several years ago, this program support, and what it allowed us to do is open up the exhibit hall outside of when the train operates. So it's open 6 days a week from April until, well, we're actually continuing until Thanksgiving this year. So we're running the 6 days a week until the Santa train. And it's, you know, some days there's only a dozen people, but other days there's dozens. And before there were none. So this year is the first year where we broke even, and during a period of time. So in July and August, we recovered the cost of running paying the staff with the funds we collected in the modest user fee. It's $5 for children and $10 for adults. So that's a great start, and we want to expand on this. So we want to extend the number of hours that we're operating into the shoulder season. We now run the train year round on Saturdays, so it runs in the winter. We just shut down during the after the Santa train until Martin Luther King Jr. weekend, and then we start back up again. And this is goes hand in hand with that then in extending the weekday operations to continue to be an anchor. And the reason for the bit of the increase here is that unfortunately we are being badly impacted by all this upward pressure in the salaries at the lower end of the tier, unfortunately. But we have a great staff now. We're back to full staffing for the first time since the summer of 2019.
You were the first person here that I've heard that you're back to full staffing. That's awesome.
Yeah, and we have we have the most qualified, knock on wood, we have the most qualified staff we've ever had. Our most of our staff has a master's degree now. It's really very exciting. And for what that education brings to our ability to deliver program. We just hired somebody away from the Wing Luke Asian Art, excuse me, the Wing Luke Museum in the International District. He just joined us a couple of weeks ago, and we have a new educator that just joined us in October as well.
You made a mistake on that.
Did I?
No, you did.
I did.
Yeah.
Where?
On the
Snoqualmie marketing. I was gonna.
Gave me half.
Look at that.
Oh.
I was wondering why we had such a big fund.
I know. I was like, I guess we are gonna have reserves.
Okay. All right, so are you guys good at the 27th?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Unless Alan has any concerns.
Not at all. Let's do it.
My math was off. So we have 75,000.
175,000.
So we can have 4,000, whatever. I can't even see that number right now. In the reserve.
Or let me
4,700.
so two things. For $1,000, could we look at lighting those trees on the other side of Parkway by the hotel?
Oh, I like that.
Start to get into bringing that across.
Was it trees, Lori, or was it the building?
It was the building, but I mean, it was the building and trees, but I mean, he knows what's in there, so I could get.
Was power okay? Because I took that a couple of years ago, the trees there, and there really wasn't a good power source. Were they able to?
He was like, I think this will work for us for outside, and then he had plenty of power on the roof too.
But I think the trees would be okay for us to do it. I agree.
They're on the side.
No, I was just asking for some clarity. I looked at those before. I think it complements the intersection. Yeah. So, would you say put the extra to the Snoqualmie lights, and then I just make it part of? I mean, it's the same vendor too. I don't know. It's up to you guys.
Well, that's what I would think. We could do that to help. You know, did come asking for something. We have questions about the building lights with those trees. We could pick that up as part of it and just support that going on.
That's probably on our property. Some of it probably.
Yeah,
still.
it's probably like city property. Yeah.
I don't think they can.
I wouldn't object.
I would like that.
What do you think, Alan?
Let's do it.
Okay, so the second one.
So go up to 20,000 then?
No, take it just. Well, I was saying just put an extra 1,000 on there. Do you think how much?
To 2,500.
2,500 for to get that.
Yep, I agree.
Okay. Let's see what we got
Okay, so
left.
19,000.
Then I could take the other 2,000 back from make
But
it.
yeah, you gave up.
Yep.
For
So
which one, Kelly? For the block party?
Yep. We could do something more than that.
Free liquor? No, just
No, God, no. But I will say
Not at a block party.
I
God, no.
we're cutting that. But the one thing that I would like to say that we are going to come after eventually is a permanent stage somehow, some way, and for the Center Boulevard. Some way, somehow, we are going to do that.
We are having a conversation.
Yeah.
It's important. I think that
because I could actually take some of that money, put towards some of that.
the other conversation that's been had is gateway signage or entry point signage coming into town. The Snoqualmie Welcome. So that needs that. It got a little Botox and it needs a big facelift. So that's what we're
Do you want to put the 2,500 in yours?
Yes.
Because
Yours.
I do not put that in. No.
Keep hers at zero.
I was gonna say, yeah, just move that.
finance. So this is good. So
19.
That's a zero.
thank you.
No, wait a minute.
Thank you.
So
19,000, Richard?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
There you go. Perfect.
We can leave the $200 for administrative fees.
Yep, absolutely.
Credit
the
card.
plan was to ask you what you could do with another 1,000 for Snoqualmie Day.
Get another band.
It's $200.
Yeah, it's only $200. You get a band for $200.
No, but he could. What could he do? $200. Base painting.
Yeah.
Saying give him $7,200
Or have the
We either hold a reserve
for $200
for $200.
because
We'll
you could
spend more
also do
holding
something on the
reserve.
windows for $200.
Oh, yeah. Or a
Or-
banner.
No, I would rather do some painting on the windows to have a spot to do selfies and stuff.
That'll run you about $500.
Do you want the headache of an additional $200?
Do we have to agree on what we're going to spend it on first? Or we'll just make it a grand fete?
Mm-hmm.
A grant for that 7,200 or a grant or 7,000?
FETE, never mind.
7,200.
7,200. Anybody object?
Going once, going twice. Oh, my math is all right.
If your formulas are good, your math is
It's
good.
a straight sum. I don't do formulas. Yeah.
Yeah, well,
can hire somebody
I've been
too.
doing it as well. Just
Exactly.
not that I don't trust you. Just
No, I appreciate that.
You can use it to hire somebody that will help too that day.
yeah.
And just so you guys know, I have my new guides, and so if you'll wait here, I'll go get them and bring them to you because you're going to be
we'd
so
love to.
excited to see them.
All right, I thank you very much. I know we went long, but I appreciate it. I'm getting spoken.
No, you're doing fine.
So I guess
Back to standing up and
meeting
I'm
adjourned.
just a talking head, so give me like you're doing great.
Okay, thank you, Alan, and I'll come see all the beautifulness up there.
Sounds good. Thanks, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you, Jimmy.
thank you, Jimmy.
You're welcome.